Hello everyone, it is me. I am back with another video, and today we're gonna do some freaking art. It has been a while since I have done something arty on this channel, so I thought now is a good time to experiment with some clay, because what I plan to make is going to be a gift for my best friend for their birthday, which isn't till the 31st. So I'm going to be using this Sully polymer clay just because that's literally all my local craft store sells. And I also picked up these for $8. They are fondant modeling tools, so I thought maybe I could use those for sculpting with. Let's give them a go. Let's see if they work. And these are my sketches. That's not one of them. As you can see, I am making Bill and Ted and the Grim Reaper. I'm going to make them into like clay pins because my friend and I are very big fans of Bill and Ted. We have been since we were kids, and we're very excited for the new movie coming out, so I thought it would be cool to make some one-of-a-kind Bill and Ted pins, and Death as well because we love him. So without further ado, let's get into it. Are you kidding me? It did the thing! I think I'm going to start with Bill, just because he was the first one that I drew in my sketchbook. Hack a chunk off here with my scalpel. Gonna roll it, and roll it, and roll it, and roll it. So I have no clue how I'm gonna go about this. If I just start with like a flat blob and work from there, hopefully I'll get something that looks kind of like Bill S. Preston Esquire. Yeah, so far it's just looking like a blob. What if I roll it out real flat? I'm just gonna use a pink Posca pen because I don't have a rolling pin or anything. Then I guess I could just like carve out a shape for his face. Now I'm just gonna cut all the way through. I've made a lot of pins out of clay before, but I definitely haven't done a shape as complex as a human face as a pin before. I have made a 3D depiction of my character Archie in clay, which absolute fluke that came out as decent as it did. Making a flat depiction of a person is definitely something that I haven't done before. So I'm just gonna go through, flatten out all those crusty edges I created. Oh, I just forgot that I had freaking tools. I'm sitting here struggling. Oh, that's 100% better. Ignore if the top of his head looks like a bit of a weird shape. He's gonna be wearing a hat, so I'll put that on later. If you have some clay laying around, why not whip it out and make some shapes? They don't have to be people. They can be anything you want. You can make like stars, planets. You can make beads. I discovered the other day you can make freaking beads out of clay. That was a fun discovery. I'm gonna be using that in the future. And yeah, you can just, when you're done, if you like the way the shape looks, glue a safety pin to the back of it and you can wear it as a pin, or before you bake it, you can make a hole in the top and turn it into like a necklace or a key ring. Or I'm not sure if I should bake this as it is, so that way it will be hardened enough that I can like work on top of it without messing up the shape. But then again, I'm like not entirely sure. I'm gonna give him a mouth and then I'll bake him. Then I might just use another tool to sort of like smooth that out a little bit. Just so that it's kind of indented, otherwise I'd be like just painting the teeth over the top. I feel like indented might look a little bit better. Use this sharp one to like get in the corners, I guess. I suppose I can give him a nose while I'm here. I'm more concerned about doing like the hair and the clothes and messing up the shape, so I can definitely put a nose on now. Bill has like a really cool nose, and I reckon he kind of looks like the statue of David in like a really cool way. So I gotta do him justice, you know what I'm saying? Well, that didn't work. I'm gonna make it smaller, I think. Ooh, what is happening to this nose? I mean, it's alright. Just gonna blend it in. Blend it in. I might have to make his mouth a little bit bigger. But right now I'm giving him little indents for his eyes. just so that I know where they're gonna end up. Then I'm gonna smooth it out, smooth it out, smooth it out. Smooth it out. Oh yeah, that's looking better. And then the last thing I'm gonna do before baking this, I would like to adjust his torso a little bit. And I can always add to this later if it doesn't look good. So there we go, we have the base for Bill. I'm gonna put him aside and I'm going to start Ted. I don't know if Ted's going to be easier or harder. I'm gonna bring bald Bill over here back so I can get the sizes right. Alrighty. Now I'm gonna cut out our shape for Ted. I'm gonna put his hair on later too because I think it would be easier. And then we'll just cut it out. Now, his head does look a little bit smaller than bald Bill's, but we'll fix that. Once he puts his hair on, we'll be fine. That's Ted, believe it or not. There we go, that's better. I'll just sit that there for a second while I draw on the mouth. Then I can gauge the positioning of the nose and start blending it in. So far in using these fondant modeling tools for clay, I am noticing that because they are cheap, they've got like a seam down the middle where the plastic meets, which can be a bit of an issue. Like it made a crease right there, which is why I switched tools. But if you're on a budget and you see something like this in your local store in the kitchen section, I'd say it's worth it. I think that's a pretty cute nose if you ask me. Might be a little bit big, but that's kind of my style. Even when I'm drawing, I draw huge noses and I am not going to apologize for that because big noses are really cool. Then we're gonna indent the mouth. I'm gonna make this like a really deep indent because I've drawn him with his mouth open and you can see the top row of teeth. So I will put the teeth in after I've baked it. I think I'm gonna have to adjust his face shape a little bit after it's baked. But other than that, that's where we're at with Ted. I know it doesn't look much like Ted right now, but stick with me for a second. I'll just put bald Ted over here with bald Bill. Then I think I'm gonna break open the white clay for the Grim Reaper just because that's part of his color scheme. I'm gonna paint them all anyway, but I've never used white clay before, so I just wanna see if it's any different. Probably not, but... So it's packaged different. Oh no. Oh no, what's happening? If they've changed their formula and it's no good, I'm gonna cry. Look at all this fluff and like bits and bobs that are already in this clay. This is why no one uses white clay. Alrighty, Death, how you doing? Alright, start with his head. Then he'll have a little cheekbone. Nice, strong, skeletal jawline. And then I'd better put his ear in there as well. I very nearly just ran my finger across this blade as if it wasn't going to cut me. That would have been most heinous. This clay definitely seems a lot crumblier compared to the flesh colored clay, which worries me because I feel like that means they've changed their formula. So crumbly, Death, why are you so crumbly? This almost feels like it's made out of an eraser. So that bothers me. Freaking Sully. Why you gotta go change your formula on me? I've lost his cheekbone. I need to get that back, that's very important. Then I'm gonna give him a nose. And then I will put in his eye sockets, just so that we know that we're placing everything correctly. There we go, some very deep, very cynical eye socket. Then I'm gonna just adjust his nose. I literally just saw a piece of cat fur drop into the clay and get stuck, so that's great. Now I'm going to carve in his forehead lines. Very subtle but very important. And I'm gonna go into his ear, make that look a little bit more 3D. They have 100% changed the formula of this clay. It never used to crumble like this. I'm so sad. What if I do what old people do and I write to them? I write them a strongly worded letter saying, "What the hell have you done to my clay? This ain't how it's supposed to be." And the company will write back and say, "We literally don't care. Shut up." So here are the 3. I'm going to go and bake them for God knows how long, and I will be back when they are done. Alrighty, they're out of the oven. Now it's time to get on with the details, and there's freaking fluff submerged in Death's face, so I'm gonna have to paint over him anyway. So screw that white clay, I'm going back to old trusty. So I think the easiest way to go is to start with Ted's hair, because I have a plan for how to do it. My plan is to basically like roll out a flat bit, carve it into the shape of his hair, and like lay him on top of it, but we'll see how it goes. And it's done. No, we got some shaping to do. Now just sit that on top. I'm not gonna press it in just yet, just in case I want to change the positioning. And then we'll do his bangs. Wow, that looks horrible. I'm gonna have to refine that a little bit. I mean, yeah, that could work. I'm gonna press this down a little bit. I'm gonna have to accept that it's always going to look better in the drawing, because it's a drawing, but this just doesn't have the same flow as what I was going for. Okay, if I do that and then I do like the little side bits, I think I can make this work. There we go, now we're on to something. He just needs more layers in his hair. Look at that! Oh my god, I'm so happy with it. I just want to smooth a couple things out and then that's his hair done. Oh my god, this looks so much cuter than I thought it was going to. I'm so excited. And then I might just add a couple little indents for more texture, which should help hide the blending a little bit as well. Next, I'm gonna give Death his robe, because that's a nice, easy thing to do, I reckon. I definitely need to illustrate the hunch that Death has. So that looks like Death's robe done to me. Now onto what I think is going to be the hardest one, and that's Bill. I think I should start with his hat. I don't know. I'll do his sideburns, then his hat, then the rest of his hair, I think. Now he definitely looks bald. Onto the hat. This is definitely the most heinous one so far. Oh no. Can you tell who they are?
Cute. That's who they are.
Can you tell who they are?
They're cute.
it's time for us to get into some painting. I'm gonna start with Death. He just needs a base coat of white. I know he's already white, but the clay has like little specks of dust and fluff and things that need covering up. So there's a base coat for Death done. Then I'm going to do the skin tones for Bill and Ted because even though this is kind of a fleshy color, it's got flecks of yellow in it and stuff where like the colors of the clay aren't mixed properly. So I'm going to just even that out a little bit. I'm not actually looking to put like too much detail into the actual paint work. I'm gonna keep the colors pretty flat, I'm thinking. So this is gonna take a couple of coats. And at this point, I'm really not worried about being neat because I can neaten it up later. This is just a nice, well, not very nice at the moment, but it's a base coat. So my friend's birthday is creeping up on me a little bit because I started this video like a week ago because I wanted like plenty of time to make sure I got this done in time for their birthday, and then I could upload it after I gave it to them so it wasn't like spoiled for them if they decide to watch my video. But yeah, I was completely on track and now it's a week till their birthday and I'm like, oh god, I have nothing ready. I'm just gonna use a black Posca to do Death's robes, I think, and then I'll get in all the little crevices with a paintbrush. Just because Poscas are easier. I'm so impatient when it comes to waiting for paint to dry, which is probably why I like Poscas, because they're pretty instant. I'm trying to do really thin coats so they dry quickly anyway, because Bill's nearly dry except for like where the paint pooled. Screw it, I'm getting the hairdryer. I'll have this dry in like 4 seconds flat. Dry as a bone. I think 1 or 2 more coats and we'll be good. So 700 coats of paint later, they now have a more lively complexion. Sorry, Death. And yeah, I think I'll continue on Death. I gotta be like super careful not to get this on his skin. Skin? Bone? I don't know. All I know is that if I get black on the parts that are meant to be white, it'll take another 70 coats to get rid of it. Okay, now he's starting to look a little bit more like a skeleton. Now I'm gonna see if I can put some eyes on him. Maybe once I put the mouth on it will start to look more like him. Now I think I'll make a start on Ted's hair. It's looking a little bit splotchy, so it's gonna take a lot more coats than I thought it would. I think it's time to give Blondie some hair. Beautiful. I can't even tell what's his hair and what's part of his hat anymore. Oh, those eyebrows were stressful. Now I think it's time for a hat for Bill. His hat's red, right? Yes. And before moving on to the next color, I'm going to do Ted's jumper because I accidentally poured out way too much red paint and I don't want it to dry up before I get a chance to use it. Then we'll whip up a nice orangey color for his hoodie. Well, I accidentally made the color of his shirt, so I'll do that first. His hoodie is a really hard color to mix for some reason. I don't know why. It's literally just orange. Then finally we'll do Bill's clothes and that will be the flat colors done. Alrighty, now it's time for the final touches and then we'll be done. And here are the finished pins. I am very happy with how they turned out and I hope that my friend likes them. Ted looks a little bit different to how I imagined and I think Bill is definitely my favorite, but overall I think they all look nice together and I'm very proud of them. I also made this little backing card and they'll just sit on there like that. So I hope you enjoyed today's most excellent video. If you have any ideas for things you'd like to see in the future, let me know in the comments down below. And with that, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!